All right, so this is IHIP. These are IHIP ladies. Pumps and Angie. I really got to get these ladies' names down. I know Pumps. I always mess up the other lady's name. Jennifer? I might just... That might be racist against white ladies. I might just be saying Jennifer because that's a stereotypical white lady name. I appreciate these ladies so much, and I'm thankful for getting to watch these videos because, like, they are truly magnificent. So let's watch them. IHIP News, Dems bite back and expose Trump's racist lies on Zorhan Mamdani. Let's get to it.
To its most shocking.
God damn it, I did it again.
To defeat Trumpism, we're all going to have to unite as people on the left or moderate Democrats that are absolutely appalled by MAGA. And we're all going to have to make the leaders that we have better. We're going to have to make...
Reverend's right. No place to go but down.
Them fight and rise to the level that we expect from them and not be beholden. And the leader of the House of Representatives is Hakeem Jeffries.
Dude, did I get it right with Jennifer? Did I get it right? Okay, once again, sometimes you guys doubt me. I feel the doubt coming through the screen over the internets. I get the doubt vibe on occasion. I got it right. Their full names are in the header for the videos. Michael, you know I can't read, and it's also it's not very nice of you to point out the flaws in my trailer park education.
And he's been on our show. He makes himself available all the time. I have problems with some of his corporate donations, but he is the leader in the House that we have. So every day, all day, we need to encourage them to, like Beyonce says, to the left, to the left. It is very important that we take an economic
Oh, that was amazing.
populist message to the American public, and Hakeem Jeffries is starting to catch on. Here he is on the House floor talking about the heaping pile of dog shit, Trump's signature, cruel, asinine legislation.
On health care in the United States of America, people will die. Tens of thousands, perhaps year after year after year. As a result,
didn't they say estimated it was 50,000 Americans per year could potentially die because of the Medicaid cuts? Also, they made those Medicaid cuts happen, of course, in 2027 because they wanted to be after the midterms. They want it to be right before Trump leaves office. They want to be able to blame somebody else for all the shit that's going to happen. And, you know, I'm just going to say this because a lot of these guys, Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Booker, a lot of these guys have been very disappointing. They have. I don't want to sit here and say that, you know, by getting up and doing one or two things that you get to come back into the good graces. Same thing as for Gavin Newsom. Every one of these guys has done something that has been pretty fucking disappointing in the last 6 months. Humans are fallible. Humans deserve a path to redemption. But when you have 50,000 potential Americans per year that may die from these different things in the big beautiful bill, I don't know that just giving speeches is enough to get you back into my good graces. That's what I'm going to say on this. I know that some people are going to be like, hey, you know, there's only so much that you can do, and at least he's doing something. I get that. I understand that. But I just don't think it's enough.
of the Republican assault on the health care of the American people. I'm sad. I never thought that I'd be on the House floor saying that this is a crime scene. And House Democrats want no part of it.
Okay. I know a lot of our listeners are very progressive.
Yeah, she knows what I'm thinking right now. She's reading my mind. Jen there is reading my mind right now.
And very on the left. I know some of you are just anti-Trump. And I know I've seen in the comments a lot of you are turned off by Hakeem Jeffries. We are in the fight of our lives where we do not have the luxury of trying to defeat MAGA while at the same time dismantling our own leadership.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? is I think you need to take what we have and it just needs to be changed. I don't think you need to defeat Hakeem Jeffries. I think Chuck Schumer probably it's past time for Chuck. I don't think that the majority of the Democratic Party can keep up with politics in the manner that it is now. I just don't think so. I don't think that the majority of the Democratic Party understands how to play the game that is currently being played against them, right? It's like if you took a basketball team from now and you put them out there with like the triangle offense of, Phil Jackson's triangle offense, and you put that triangle offense against, a basketball team of the 70s, right? It's just you're playing two completely different fucking games, and one or the other is going to be the dominant style. And the way that you would do something about that is you would look at what that other team is doing, going, wow, they're dominating the shit out of us. How do we defend against that? How do we change our tactics to either mimic their tactics or to defeat their tactics? And that's what needs to be happening. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to ship the team out. That doesn't mean that every player on that team has to go. But if you've got Michael Jordan's Bulls and you've got Dennis Rodman on that team and you've got Steve Kerr on that team and you've got Ron Harper on that team, and then you bring in somebody and you go, you're going to play the triangle offense with these guys. And they go, that doesn't really work for me. I do things the old way. That person has to go. Or if somebody on that team isn't playing the scheme, that person has to go. Now, it's their decision. They can change. They can play the game. They can be a part of the team. But if they don't, they have to go. So it's nothing personal about Hakeem Jeffries. However, she's right. It's nothing personal about Hakeem Jeffries. I do think that Hakeem Jeffries has the right fundamental values. They're the same goals. I do believe that. And it is not the time, like she said, to be dismantling that team. But I'll tell you something that can happen. Your ass can get benched. Okay? I don't give a shit if you score 30, 40 points a game, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. If the team keeps losing because you can't get with the strategy, you might not need to be shipped off. You might not need to be traded. You might not need to be released. But you're going to get fucking benched. And that's kind of where we're at this point. Is it's time for people like Chuck to get benched. And it's time for people to see people like Jasmine Crockett, people like AOC. Those are the people that are playing the playbook that this generation wants to see. They know how to use TikTok. They know how to use Instagram. They go on podcasts. Even Bernie's old ass knows how to use it. So you might not get kicked out the team, but you do need to get benched. Kevin says, it's like saying hi to someone, then they go, I'm calling the cops. He said hi. I don't know what that was to. Maybe a little bit further back. Jen says, fun fact, we ran Tex Winter's triangle offense at Diablo Valley College. Nice. And also you're probably sitting there going, this angry ginger guy doesn't know shit. This angry ginger guy doesn't know a goddamn thing about basketball. First of all the sports I ever played, basketball I was the fucking worst at. Baseball I was pretty bad. I liked football, guys. Basketball I was a hell of a defender, all right? I will fucking block your shot. I'll steal the ball. But if you give me the ball to shoot it, I'm passing that shit every single time, okay? Every time. LB says, you're wrong. No more chances. They won't even endorse Mamdani. Fuck Jeffries and fuck Schumer. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a certain, you are correct. There's
and
a line.
I propose to all of us that instead of browbeating him, calling him out where he is duplicitous, and encouraging him to do more of that. This bill is a crime scene. And I've been very worried about Hakeem Jeffries not standing up for the double-digit win in the New York City mayoral race. And then
here she goes. She's gonna call him on it, LB. Let's see what she says on this. to see how harshly she judges.
The following Islamophobic and completely racist attacks on Zorhan Mamdani. And I was very pleasantly surprised to see Leader Jeffries tweet in response to Donald Trump's abject racism on Lie Social. Put this up. Trump posts, as president of the United States, I'm not going to let this communist lunatic destroy New York. Rest assured, I hold all the levers and I have all the cards. I'll save New York City.
Bro, we live in such a fucking crazy timeline. Oh my God. It's the dumbest timeline. It's the dumbest timeline that has ever existed and probably will ever exist. Oh my God. It's so fucking embarrassing, dude.
And make it hot and great again, just like I did with the good old USA. And hockey.
What's up, Groove Dragon?
Teams went in and retweeted this with comment and said, stop lying about Assemblyman Mamdani. He is neither a communist nor a lunatic, and New York City doesn't need to be saved by a wannabe king. Besides, you're too busy destroying America with your one big ugly bill to do anything else. And
you know what I always think about? I'm like, and I know a lot of this is theater. I know a lot of this is political theater. So I know a lot of you guys, your answer to this is going to be like all of it. But how much of this is bullshit? And I'm not calling out Hakeem Jeffries for this. I'm saying this about all of the stuff that happens on Twitter and shit, right? Like, do these guys see each other in the Capitol building? Like, when they walk past each other, do they talk shit? Because that's what if you put me in the Senate and I saw some dude that tweeted at me some crazy shit, like, if I see you in the fucking hallway, it is on, dog. Like, if you tweet some crazy shit, and Marjorie Taylor Greene tweets some crazy shit at me, and I am walking through the hallway and I see Marjorie Taylor Greene's ass, it is Biggie and Tupac all over again, okay? It's like, bitch, I heard what you said. You want to handle that? We right fucking here, dog. Say that shit in my face. This is why I'd never be elected for any office. Or who knows? There's going to be a fucking UFC fight on the White House lawn. Maybe I got a chance. Like, if I'm walking down the hallway and fucking Jim Jordan talks some shit, I'm going to be like, try me, dog. You better. I hope that wrestling you've been doing. We all know that all that was you just fucking with some young dudes. We all know why you were doing that, bro. That's what it'd be like. I'd be like, I know. I'd be like to your face. I'm in your face being like, yeah, we all know why you like wrestling so much, my friend. We all know why you like that. You like putting your hands on them young men. Like, I'm like, we are going to fight.
This is what I'm happy that Leader Jeffries did this, and we need more and more and more of
That's
this.
True, Elvie.
We
have
wrong. To, as the public, push the leaders that we have that are in positions of power right now.
Now, mind you got to give her some credit. When she's saying this, you can see that she's doing her best. She's struggling a bit. She's like, look, I'm just trying to make the best case, the best argument I can for this right now. It is not a very tenable situation.
To the left. We have to get them to take the message that Mamdani took to New Yorkers and won by double digits.
I completely agree. I think you're so correct. But I look at Donald Trump's tweet a little differently, or his Lie Social post. He is
Lie Social. I think Pumps might be my favorite. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to play favorites here, but Pumps might be my favorite.
Basically saying, I will control the election. I am willing to commit crimes to.
He said, I pull the levers.
Do what I want. I mean, it's admissions. I hold all the levers. I hold all the cards. That worries me about the integrity of elections everywhere in the United States of America, because this man is so corrupt and his mind is so criminal.
Jin. Jin said, "You be screwed, AG. Jim Jordan still wears his singlet under his underwhelming wardrobe." Yeah, if there's one thing he's still practicing, it's wrestling dudes, okay? I'll be honest, guys. Look, I don't spend a lot of time shirtless rolling around with other men. Something tells me Jim Jordan still does that, like, multiple times a week. Also, I'm pretty sure he'd get like a fucking... He'd get aroused. And let me tell you this right now. There's nothing scarier than Jim Jordan with a fully torqued in a singlet trying to get on your back. Jim Jordan trying to climb up on me fully torqued. I'm like, oh, fuck. I need a great whistle, right? I'm fucking blowing that thing. I'm like, I need the police. I need help. You're probably right. I probably shouldn't even be trying to start that fight. The repercussions of my actions are now coming fully to the front of my imagination. The creativity is kicking in, and I'm like, no, I don't think I want that smoke. You're right, Jen. My bad.
There is nothing that makes me believe he would not commit crimes to avoid a mayoral candidate that he doesn't like.
That's the thing. That's what's so devastating, Pumps, because the things that, like, when you think about if there's injustice, that even, the former Republican Party, before it got completely MAGA, of course, they were all beholden to corporations, but they really prided themselves on trying to uphold some appearance of the rule of law. The brazen law breaking and pardoning of violent criminals, and the race baiting and the hate mongering and the fear mongering that they do. It's just everything is on the table with this MFer. Everything is on the table. Okay, next up, we have Rolling Stone doing some reporting on Zorhan Mamdani. Put this up, Kylie. They tweet, Mamdani is not in the country illegally. He does not have...
Bro, why do we even have to fucking state this? Oh my God, dude. Like... How stupid have Americans became? That's not it. That's a rhetorical question. Don't answer that, please. You're going to hurt my feelings. Like, that should never be something that has to be posted, right? Like, this should not have to be information that is written about and then disseminated. That's fucking insane.
Have any connection to 9/11 or jihadist terrorism. Mamdani hasn't actually said or done anything anti-Semitic. He did not call to, quote, globalize the intifada. He is not a communist. And Kylie, leave this up.
Oh, and by the way, that he called to globalize the intifada, like, was said multiple times by left-wing commentators on, like, MSNBC or maybe it's CNBC. Multiple times. This is the problem within the left, is that when they eat their own.
They do a whole article that I encourage each of you to go click and read, because they debunk all of the bullshit about Zorhan Mamdani. And they are using xenophobic Islam.
Now, Michael, I mean, TYT did get as big as it did talking about camel toes. And you guys were all here when I learned about that. So, I mean, it seems like the path to get to fame in the YouTube sphere is to talk about body parts. So I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job.
Islamophobic tactics. And they are really, I think, trying to insult a lot of Jewish voters. Jewish voters are not a monolith. Yeah, some of them are Zionists and probably support war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu, who was just a smart version of Trump, and they probably voted for Trump. But then a lot of Jewish voters that I personally know, and naturally this is anecdotal, voted for Mamdani. And so they are saying that he has a connection to 9/11. Meanwhile, they're lying to you and not telling you Trump goes and plays patty cake with Saudi Arabia and they funded 9/11.
100%. Jesus fucking Christ. It's, once again, it's every accusation is a confession. It's like, bro, just because the dude's brown or the dude's a Muslim does not mean that he has anything to do with fucking 9/11. It's so fucking insane. And yet, yeah, Donald Trump can go over to Saudi Arabia. He can go to Dubai. He can shake hands with people that we know have 100% paid for, terrorist cells to kill people across the world. He can do those things. And they're like, it's just part of his job. Meanwhile, this dude just happens to be a brown guy that's a Muslim, and they're like, 9/11!
They are telling you that he does all of these anti-Semitic things. And actually, Pumps, did you know that this man 3 years ago, before he ever ran for New York mayor, was tweeting about saving a Jewish bookstore in New York? So the lies that they use are just insane.
Okay, my thought on this is,
how many dipshits are going to be like, Jesus Christ, how many fucking times am I going to have to hear this? How many dipshits are going to be like, yeah, he was part of 9/11. Like, dude, they could go conspiracy theory inception here if they wanted to. They could go 9/11 inside job. That's why Mamdani has been elected, is because they're trying to do 9/11 part 2, because the only way they can do it is when they have an insider do the inside job. Of course, you're going to have to explain the whole Bush and Giuliani thing, but, I mean, Bush is kind of brown. I mean, not in his personality at all. But he's got kind of a weathered look to him. And Giuliani does have that shit, that fucking, the brown shit leaking down his face that's in the intro. They'll find a way. These people are very fucking creative. There is going to be some conspiracy theory 9/11 fucking inception going on here. I can see it coming.
the racism that I see coming out of the MAGA party,
He's born in 91.
particularly aimed at this man, it is, I would think, even as a
he's
racist,
like 10 years
I would
old,
blush, because it is so bad. I mean, you're run-of-the-mill Republican conservative racist. I would think
Like
the stuff
leather.
that MAGA does would make them blush. I don't know that, but it's so brazen. And to say that somebody who's overtly qualified because their skin is brown is the communist, when you've got Trump and all of his nefarious actors, they're so worried about anti-Semitism that, you know, Trump has Nick Fuentes at the White House, and Elon Musk is doing Sig Heils on the inauguration stage. The hypocrisy never ends.
100%.
And the real race, I mean, I'm not worried about anything as much as I am worried about the racism and the cruelty and the ability for Americans to see brown people being sent to alligator Alcatraz and cheering. That's the biggest problem I see.
Dude, it's just gotten so stupid it hurts, man. It's like painful to keep up with this shit. 'Cause it's like, you've always known at like a personal level, enough people that say dumb shit. You either work with them or your family members are with them. Or every once in a while we have a friend that we're like, oh my God, you're not the smartest human being you've ever met in your life. Not the sharpest tool. Kind of blunt force object. And we've always known that at like a personal level that this shit exists. But this has gotten to where it's like on the world stage, right? Like the stupidity of the worst people in American society is on full display for everybody in the world to see. Russia's laughing, China's laughing, Canada's scared, Greenland's scared. And like, it's just fucking insane. Because it's one thing to like look around at everybody and be like, yeah, there's a lot of our population that are not doing great in the education department, okay? That's one thing to look around at. It's a whole nother thing to watch our politicians weaponize American stupidity and use it so effectively. It's fucking insane.
He's their worst nightmare because they have been able to propagandize the American public for decades. Since 9/11, and even before that, during a lot of the Iranian hostages and all of that stuff. So the problem that they have with Zorhan Mamdani is
hold on. MAGA needs rehab. Have we thought about this, Skelts? Because we could, maybe that's a business idea after this shit's all over. That might be a pretty good idea, Skelts. So file that one away. Let's get some copyright, some patents and shit. Let's find out if there's some therapists out there that are willing to do this. I don't know how many therapists are willing to actually sit down with a MAGA person. But hey, look, it just for shits and giggles, right? If you're a psychologist, this era has to be right up your alley. You've got to be pretty motivated right now as a psychologist. You're like, man, this is like being at the zoo and you're like a zoologist. I don't know if that's a real thing, but if there is a zoologist, they would want to be at the zoo. It just makes sense, guys. Don't question it. But imagine if you were a psychiatrist right now, if you were studying the human brain, this is your time. You're looking around at everybody being like, dude, this is what I was made for. Skelts, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the Angry Ginger Army. Thank you so much, Skelts.
Don't want what they have propagandized the public about Muslims. They're all radical, woman-hating, terrorists.
Today's good news. Bald Eagle's numbers are rising. Hold on.
White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up.
That want to blow shit up and want death to America, and then they go to heaven and they have 75 versions or whatever the thing is. And many, many, many Americans believe that all Muslims are a monolith and believe that. He's their worst nightmare because this guy arrives to the campaign trail and says, I leave no one behind. I'm not an anti-Semite.
Yeah, so there you go. That's the scariest thing. Like I said, I think it's actually scary for the fucking people on the left that are taking big money from donors as well. I think that this guy scares a lot of people. He mainly scares the right because if he gets into office and he does these things, they're going to have a hard time spinning it, at least to the people in New York that are actually there, because you can spin it however you want to the people outside of New York. These dipshits will believe anything. They're going to have a hard time spinning if he's successful. If the things he does, like a lot of the stuff that California does, makes its way across the country, even though people naysay it, people will naysay progressive policies in California, but then it'll spread across the country. Why? Because it's effective. Because it does generate, it makes good economic sense, and it also does generate better health and safety for Americans. So if Mamdani does successful things in New York, it's going to be hard for them to continue to sell this racist lie that this brown-skinned Muslim is extremist. It's going to have to make them go like, oh, okay. Well, no, they're not going to say, oh, okay. They're going to just lie, but it's going to be a lot harder to lie about, right? And it also scares establishment Democrats because corporate donors have been paying these guys for a long time to say that they will do stuff, and then they only do very small parts of the things that they said that they're willing to do because they want to keep their voter base happy, but they also want to keep their corporate donors happy. And if this guy gets into office with practically no money behind him and does a good job, then we're going to have more people that are going, well, holy shit, it does turn out that we can do these kind of things, and that potentially some of these people within the party need to be ousted, and we need to get more people like this guy in there. I'm sure he is scaring a lot of motherfuckers. In fact, somebody should get that dude a really good security detail, because Martin Luther King, anybody? Martin Luther King, anybody?
Semite. I'm not a transphobe. I'm not a homophobe. I'm not a racist. And I'm going to fight for the people that white Americans have left behind. And I'm going to point out the fact that more white Americans are on welfare than on black Americans. And I'm going to call out all the racism in this country. And I'm going to put us all on a same playing field and fight for affordability. And the thing I like about this guy is he leaves not one motherfucker behind. He didn't throw the trans community under the bus like Gavin Newsom did when he...
Yeah, so that's what I was saying earlier, right? Certain people did some shit. And this is what Mike from the Humanist Report was saying at right after the election, right? And you had Kamala Harris's campaign manager out there going like, look, man, we should be playing between the 45s and we should be reaching across the aisle. We lost because of trans issues and all this shit. And Mike made that video where he was like, you want to lose more? You want to lose more of your base? You're going to throw transgender people under the bus? Like, that's not a good fucking idea, dog. Like I said, these are people that do not understand that the game has changed. These are people that are like, you got to do the Obama-Biden playbook. We gotta do the Bill Clinton playbook. Like you burn that fucking playbook. I'm sorry. I'm not one for burning books. You guys have seen books. I love the books. I enjoy books. Burn the Obama-Biden playbook, guys. Look, there are plenty of things from Obama, Biden, and Clinton that I can point out that were good things for America. But you can't run that game no more, man. You're running the I with a fullback, and you got a running back there that doesn't run well with a fullback, and you got a defense on the other side fucking putting 8 in the box. You can't do this. You can't look across the line at that defense and say to yourself, I'm going to get 10 yards. I'm going to get 5 yards. I'm going to get 6 yards. I'm going to be successful. If you want to give Donald Trump credit for anything, you can give him credit for upending politics. He destroyed the status quo of what Democrats can do to win. And he destroyed the Republican Party. It doesn't exist anymore. Now it is MAGA. So when the Republican Party becomes MAGA, the Dems better figure out what their next form is. Or else we, all of us, are fucked. I saw somebody go by. Oh, Mitchell Carey. Mitchell, thank you for rejoining. Thank you for joining the Ginger Snaps, Mitchell. You know I love you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
He sat down with Charlie Kirk. He doesn't throw the LGBTQ plus community behind like corporate Democrats
Michael,
do.
like I said,
he said affordability is for
redemption.
everyone. I don't give a damn if you're trans. I don't give a damn if you're an immigrant. I don't give a damn if you're black. I don't give a damn if you're brown. I don't give a damn if you're white. Every person deserves to be paid a livable wage. And to hear a Muslim
so extreme
say stuff like that is their worst
so
nightmare. That a Muslim is going to fight for working class white.
Holy fuck, this country might actually melt down if I mean, they claimed Obama was a Muslim. Obama was Christian, right? Biden is Catholic, Obama is Christian. But that was like one of their main fear-mongering points, right? Barack Hussein Obama. Like, can you imagine if a Muslim American were to actually set a course for this country that was good for the middle class, that was good for the lower middle class? Can you imagine what this country would fucking melt down? People that you were like, I didn't know that person was racist, will be coming out with the most racist shit you have ever heard in your life. You'd be like, damn, I didn't know Brenda was like that. Damn, Brenda. Brenda used the N-word like 7 times the other day. She was talking about 9/11 and like, dude, the amount of racism that we probably see. I mean, you gotta cleanse that shit with fire anyway, so I guess that, like, you know, fucking rip that Band-Aid off.
Americans, and they're not going. And then how are the Republicans being going to be able to blame everything
for the heartburn.
on immigrants when an immigrant is fighting for working class Americans? So this is their worst fucking nightmare, because Muslims are not a monolith, and I want to show you what David Sirota tweeted, and then I want to play a video of Mamdani and how effective his communications are. David Sirota tweets, my two thoughts on this are, number one, if every Dem would talk like this, the party might be a real opposition. Number two, it's shameful that some Dems have been more focused on using their platforms to demonize / undermine this guy than on fighting Trump. And let's listen to how effective he is as a messenger. Play the clip.
Yesterday, Donald Trump said that I should be arrested. He said that I should be deported. He said that I should be denaturalized.
Hold on. Look at the dude in the back. Sorry for the pause, Mamdani. Look at the dude in the back. The dude in the back is all of us, guys. The dude in the back's just like, why? Why, bro? Why has America gotten this stupid? Why is the President of the United States threatening to arrest and deport a mayoral candidate in the state of New York? My man, I don't know who you are, but I understand you.
And he said those things about me, someone who stands to be the first immigrant mayor of this city in generations, someone who would also be the first Muslim and the first...
Dude, New York City, it is filled with people who are immigrants or were immigrants. There is really probably no better city that personifies immigrant success. Like, we have movies that we've literally written about the Irish and the Italians. It's the Chinese. Fuck, man. Like, it's such a weird fucking place to be when you're like, we don't want the person that's in charge of the city that was built by immigrants and made successful by immigrants to be anything but a white person. It just doesn't make sense. He should be white. He should be a white Christian because that's what we were founded on. It's fucking mind-blowing.
South Asian mayor in this city's history. Less so because of who I am, because of where I come from.
The eyebrows on the guy in the back, too. Yep. You are not wrong, Susie. Oh, yeah, Mitchell. Mitchell, if he is a woman, too? Oh, fuck, he could just, like, completely just blow up this whole fucking, like, this state would explode like a fucking Mentos-filled Coke bottle if Mamdani came out and was like, you know what, I'm actually transitioning. I'm kind of here for it. I know, for all my trans people out there that are watching, I know, I'm not trying to fucking make light of your plight, but I make jokes. Everybody's got to deal with that. I am equal opportunity. I'm just saying, you guys should be with this. You guys should all agree with me on this joke. It would be fucking amazing if Mamdani came out and was like, you know what? Happens I'm transitioning. Just watch fucking just MAGA people just fucking fall out in the street, just walking down the street and somebody just like talking to somebody else and they're like, yeah, did you hear that mayoral candidate? Yeah, Mamdani? Yeah, I heard that he's transitioning. And fucking just watching MAGA people just be like, oh, fucking just fall out. Just right on the street. Fucking instant heart attacks.
Because of how I look or how I speak, and more so because he wants to distract from what I fight for.
Yeah,
I fight for
rude.
working people.
Trump's mom was an
I
immigrant.
fight for the very people that have been priced out of the city, and I fight for the same people that he said he was fighting for. This is the same president who ran on a campaign of cheaper groceries, who ran on a campaign about easing a suffocating cost of living crisis. And ultimately, it is easier for him to fan the flames of division than to acknowledge the ways in which he has betrayed those working class Americans, not just in this city, but across this country, and the ways in which he continues to betray them. Because we know that he would rather speak about me than speak about the legislation that he is shepherding through Washington, D.C.
Fucking mic drop.
Legislation that will quite literally take health care away from Americans. Legislation that will steal food from the hungry. Legislation that looks to build upon one of the largest transfers of wealth we've seen in recent history.
that man's eyebrows are never coming down.
In his first administration and do it once again for the very Americans who already have enough.
Like that dude right behind him holding the sign halfway over his face. That's fucking. That is good. That is good strategy, sir. Donald Trump. Anybody that's a darker shade than me that's in that background right now, y'all are getting searched up by Palantir as we speak. The dude in the back with the sign halfway over his face. That's good fucking strategy, my dog. Okay.
We should be fighting for those that do not have what they need to live a dignified life. That is what I will do, and I am thankful to have the protection and to have the support of so many New Yorkers.
Okay. Color me crazy, but it sounds like the Muslim is talking the way Christian politicians should talk.
Oh, shit.
Leaving no one behind and fighting for those that have been left behind, fighting for those who have been lied to. And they're going to race bait, but this is their worst nightmare because this is the face
Fucking
of America now. America is not going to be a predominant white country anymore. We are a diverse nation, and I love the diversity in the.
And it's such a weird thing to be upset about. I've never fucking understood the whole... But they're trying to replace the white man. Like, yeah. How? Well, they're bringing all these people in that are different colors. They're different colors? Is that something I should be concerned about? Like, I mean, at one point or another, if human beings exist for long enough, we're probably all going to end up being some color of beige. We're going to all intermix at one point. I mean, let's just say human history goes on for millennia. Eventually, everybody's going to have mixed a little bit at some point. We already are, right? Like, I'm Scotch, French, Irish. Like, I've got, like, all these different ethnicities in me already. They all happen to be pale as fuck. I wish somebody would have slept with a black man or woman somewhere in my fucking life, or at least a Mexican. Because my ass can't go outside in the sun. Like, this is a disability. I just fucking don't understand the whole fucking... I'm going to use the word retardation. I'm sorry. But it is. It's fucking dumb. Behind being like, we're not going to be white anymore. I don't care, dog. Most of these white people go out in the sun and fucking sit in the sun until they turn brown, and then they go back inside and they're like, I don't want brown people taking my place. You just literally helped a brown person take your place by turning yourself into a brown person. You gave yourself fucking skin cancer to look more like the people you hate. It's fucking crazy, man. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. You're mad that somebody got more sun than you did. Somebody in there... that actually does make me upset. You're mad that their history and their culture comes from a place that had less cloud cover. It's so fucking weird, man. And if you want to even go the route of they're replacing our culture, though. What culture? Mayonnaise? The lack of spices? The poor dance moves? I think it's okay. I personally am very happy that I grew up around African Americans because I can kind of keep a fucking beat. I love that I grew up around Mexicans because I enjoy that culture. I love how outspoken they are. I love how, like, fucking good-natured and happy that they can be. Like how hardworking they are. I love the sense of community that comes from having different cultures that find interconnectivity in how to be a better community and support each other. Like, that's what it's fucking all about, man. You're supposed to not judge each other based off of some basic bitch shit. Like what color a person's skin is. Instead, you judge people on their deeds. Like, I love people that want to love people and that want to, like, progress together as a community and make things better for everybody. I don't give a shit what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care in what way you express your gender or what sex you were born as. I don't care if you're young or old, gay or straight. I don't care who you fuck. Like, that's not my business. All I care about is that you recognize that if you help me and I help you and we help them, the world could be a better fucking place.
United States. That's the coolest thing about being an American is diversity. And those of us that believe in freedom embrace diversity. I welcome a Muslim mayor who leaves no one behind, who marched in the gay pride parade just last weekend in New York City.
Fancha Death. What's up, Fancha Death? I was just thinking about you today. Look at that. I summoned you with my mind. Telepathic ginger powers.
With a trans flag, gripping onto it. The most marginalized, abused, and victimized people in the corners of this country that these MAGA hypocritical Christians want to just verbally torture and then use laws that torture them more and then take away their suicide hotline. He wants to make New York City a sanctuary city for these people that are suffering in the name of MAGA Christians. He's
damn, Jen, in the middle of Jen giving this solid speech, Jen in the comments had hit me with the, don't forget our internationally respected and universally loved gourmet American cheese. We own the hot dog. We are the world leader in chicken nuggets. Damn it. Damn it. I did forget about that portion of our culture. Are the Mexicans coming to take our American cheese? Because I'll tell you this, I won't stand for that. All right, brother? I'll tell you this right now. Also, part of white culture, saying brother in that manner. Brother. Hulk Hogan made that white canon. That is culturally white canon. Brother. If the Mexicans are here to steal my chicken nuggets and my mayonnaise, I'll tell you this right fucking now. I ain't standing for that shit.
It's their worst fucking nightmare because he sounds more like a Christian. This brown-skinned Muslim sounds 10 million times more like a Christian than any Oklahoma City Christian that I've ever met in this hellscape buckle of the Bible Belt, Oklahoma City. I've never heard a Christian talk like this Muslim.
Well, I think it's a window into the soul of MAGA that they can't accept that someone that's Muslim would fight for people that aren't Muslim, because they're only willing to fight for white people.
That's a good point.
And I'll tell you what else. When you were describing the stereotypes that MAGA puts on Muslims, you were describing Christianity and Christian nationalism. They hate gays. They don't want women in power. They don't want to protect the
BTQ. Keep going. You got this, Pump.
The LGBTQIA plus community. There is not a piece of paper between radical Muslims and Christian nationalists.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, she is fucking spot on, sharp as a tack. Don't let her fumbling over your words diminish that brilliant point that there is no difference between fundamentalist Christians and fundamentalist Muslims, because fundamentalists are wackos. They're the thought police. They want to demean other people. And he is their worst fucking nightmare. And I want to leave you with this. Corporate Dems, focus on his messaging. Defend him. This is our way out of this shithole. Come on, guys. Quit being compromised by AIPAC and all of your corporate donations and fight for the country. Otherwise, you're every bit the prostitute that all the MAGA politicians are. That's all we have for today, and we'll see you all later.
Dude, that was like what she said. What she said. Holy shit. Just stop. Just stop. Stop attacking this man. Stop being like MAGA. Get your shit together. Get behind this message. Because if this man can follow through with the shit that he's talking about and get the things done that he's talking about, that is what your voters want. So if you don't do that, people ain't gonna vote for you. So yeah. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and check out that video on the screen now.